Once there was a fine warren overlooking the meadows of a farm. It was big, full of rabbits. Then one day the white blindness came, and the rabbits fell sick and died. The warren became almost empty. One day the farmer thought, I can increase those rabbits, make them part of my farm. Why should I bother to keep rabbits in hutches? He began to shoot the elil. He put out food for the rabbits, but not too near the warren. For his purpose, they had to become accustomed to going about in the fields and the wood. And then he snared them. Not too many, as many as he wanted, and not as many as would destroy the warren. They grew big and strong and healthy, for he saw to it that they had of the best, particularly in winter, and nothing to fear, except the running knot in the hedge gap and the wood path. The rabbits became strange in many ways, different from other rabbits. They knew well enough what was happening, but even to themselves they pretended that all was well. For the food was good, they were protected, and they had nothing to fear but the one fear. They forgot El-ahrairah. For what use had they for tricks and cunning, living in the enemy's warren and paying his price? They found out other marvellous arts to take the place of tricks and old stories. They danced in ceremonious greeting. They sang songs like the birds and made shapes on the wall. And though these could help them not at all, yet they passed the time and enabled them to tell themselves that they were splendid fellows, the very flower of rabbitry. They had no chief rabbit, for a chief rabbit must be El-ahrairah to his warren and keep them from death. Instead, Frith sent them strange singers, beautiful and sick like oak apples, like robin's pincushions on the wild rose. And since they could not bear the truth, these singers, who might in some other place have been wise, were squeezed under the terrible weight of the warren's secret, until they gulped out fine folly about dignity and acquiescence and anything else that could make believe that the rabbit loved the shining wire. But one strict rule they had: no one must ever ask where another rabbit was. Then we came, wild rabbits coming across the valley. The warren rabbits didn't show themselves at once. They needed to think what was best to be done. But they hit on it quite soon, to bring us into the warren and tell us nothing. Don't you see, the farmer only sets so many snares at a time, and if one rabbit dies, the others will live that much longer. You suggested that we tell them our adventures, but it didn't go down well, did it? Who wants to hear about brave deeds when he's ashamed of his own? And who likes an open, honest tale from someone he's deceiving? Do you want me to go on? I tell you, every single thing that's happened fits like a bee in a foxglove. And kill them, you say, and help ourselves to the great burrow? We shall help ourselves to a roof of bones, hung with shining wires, help ourselves to misery and death.